Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. It's really good to be back. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everybody who listens to us every week over on Apple, over on Spotify. It was up on YouTube right away, obviously, as we stream live there. But this week I was traveling and I completely spaced publishing it to Apple and to Spotify. I was in New York City, everybody.
That's right. It'll cause debates, like Star Trek debates. Are there 1,000 episodes or 1,001?
1,001.
That'll be the lost. That'll be the lost episode.
It was a two-parter.
It did go up, but it didn't go up until yesterday when I was informed. So shout out to everybody for bringing it to my attention. Barbara Blake in particular. I just had my head down working 12-hour days in the Big Apple. But anyways, so welcome back, everybody. We do have a new mixer, so we should sound pretty decent here.
Yeah.
We have also, by the way, one of the things that we prouded ourselves on.
That's definitely the right one.
That we were proud of is we used to get the audio version of the podcast up immediately following the podcast, like immediately. And we've not been able to do that because we take it from YouTube since Spotify does video, and sometimes it takes 24, sometimes it takes 48 hours for YouTube to render that. However, we have a solution, and it should be up immediately, and we should be back to our...
Yeah, within like 10 minutes after we record this.
Yeah, 30 minutes at the most, but it will be done right away. So, anyways, we've adjusted. We're bigger, better,
faster, stronger.
Faster, stronger. I'm watching Stranger Things, by the way, thinking of bigger and better.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, where are they going to go with Stranger Things? No. This season of Stranger Things
I've heard it's good.
Is not only better, it's demonstrably better.
Demonstrably?
Yep. Word of the day.
Wow.
Demonstrably
means bigger.
Oh.
It means very much, unquestionably bigger, better, stronger. No, it's really good. I'm on the last episode. So they cut it. I think they cut it up. So like there's like 7 episodes that just dropped. And then in July, the rest of the episodes drop. But
in each episode of this new season, I hear is basically like a movie, aren't they? Like
it's an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
Each one.
They're like,
and Spicy will appreciate this. You want to talk about depth?
Yeah.
They basically are following 3 things happening at the same time, and they just jump around. And it is so good. It's such good storytelling.
I really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was interesting. We had this discussion with the new Batman movie, which, well, I guess new meaning like 4 months ago. When did Batman come out?
The latest Batman movie.
The latest Batman movie. We talked about this off the show, but it's very good.
It's very good.
The new Batman was very good, but extremely linear.
Yeah, very one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And not necessarily in a bad way, I don't think. Like, they did very well.
Yeah, so...
But there was no side storyline, really.
It was weird because usually shows that are very linear like that don't have a good cinematographer, good writing, good acting, whatever, right? But that movie was so well done that I almost feel like the linear-esque nature of that was an artistic choice.
I would agree. It felt like that, for sure. I would agree with that. If you go linear, you have to master it.
No,
you know what I mean?
I mean, normally you don't go linear because that's dumb.
Well, because it's hard to keep an audience engaged.
It's hard to keep an audience engaged, and allowing for like time between... chapter 1 versus chapter 2 or chapter 17 versus chapter 18. I mean, there were scenes in the Batman movie where a couple of weeks went by, but since it was Batman and then it was Batman, it's it's like jarring a little bit. It takes you out of the movie slightly because there were no B-side stories or C stories going on. It was just, so that's one of the few movies where I have ever been, okay, I think it was an artistic choice and it's okay in that one, but having the separate storylines going on in you're saying Stranger Things and having it done well, I appreciate that very much.
It's done very. Yeah. They must have upped the budget big time because I don't even think it's close. It's the best, at least so far. We'll see how it ends up. It's the best Stranger Things, and I was skeptical. I was like, well, where do they go from here? We already know about the monsters and the other world and dimensions and superpowers, but it's very good. Very, very good. The other one that is good but heavy is the last season of Peaky Blinders just dropped, and I love me some Peaky Blinders.
I've never seen
heard
that.
It's a good show.
It is Sons of Anarchy, which is another one
with
of mine.
Racing, right?
But no, it's British Sons of Anarchy, 1930s or 1920s, the Raging 20s. Sons of Anarchy, British style.
For some reason, I thought, is it about horse racing?
Yeah, there's horse racing in there,
I
yeah.
thought it was about horse racing.
It's not about it. It
takes place around it.
Yeah, the Peaky Blinders are a gang, essentially, who make their money off of betting initially and rigging the races, the horse races.
Oh, that'd be
It's
interesting.
so good.
How do you rig a horse race?
How do you rig a horse race? You give the horse like Alka-Seltzer or something, which don't ever do that. I'm like, that's not what I'm saying.
In Peaky Blinders, they give it cocaine.
Okay, well, that's what I'm
But
saying.
that's not how they rig it. They pay off other riders to lose.
I would say you would drug
Yeah.
the horses.
Yeah.
Or
And if you choose not to, because you're an honest, upstanding guy, they kill you.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
that's how I would do it, Jordan.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I guess.
Look at Jank
that
the
makes
Tank
sense.
says on Stranger Things, I was watching it. I don't mean to be dramatic, but damn, might be the best show I've ever watched. He says,
I've heard a lot of good
I
things.
mean, it's very good. Very, very good.
I actually think David has not spoiled anything yet. So
No.
Usually
Don't
he's,
worry.
he'll deny that he spoils things, but
Oh yeah, the Spider-Man thing was not a spoiler. I would argue.
oh my gosh,
I'm sticking to it.
That was a spoiler.
Never apologize to the mob.
Yeah, that is actually very solid advice. Like, really.
Yeah. Anyways, Doctor Strange, by the way, is out streaming the second one.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to watching that this weekend.
I might watch that tonight. I've heard it's a bit on the
Creepy side,
scary side.
creepy heart. Well, so is Stranger Things, so it just fits right in.
Yeah.
Fits right into my repertoire at the moment. But let's talk Xbox.
Yep.
Let's talk.
Just chat saying, just give you a couple minutes and you'll spoil something.
Let's talk Xbox and let's talk Japan, because Xbox, for the first time in a decade, the Xbox had a week where it outsold PS5 in Japan. Well, guess what? It looks like it's done it again.
I wonder something.
And it just didn't beat it. Hold on real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, before you go into your conspiracy theories,
I do.
Jordan.
I have a
So
couple.
the total.
Whoa.
The total. Oh no. There we go.
David's computer just broke.
It has
expensive computer.
It has been traveling. The total sales for PlayStation 5 was around 3,000. Series X and Series S both sold 3,000 each in the last week.
6,000.
Or sorry, the week of June 13th is what it is, beginning June 13th.
Oh, okay.
So again, now, does it mean that PlayStation is losing ground to Xbox in Japan? Probably not. But it is a sign that Xbox is doing things right and doing them right in Japan. Does it have to do with shortages? It doesn't. It doesn't hurt Xbox. That's for sure. That it's difficult to get both consoles.
I thought you were. I seriously, when you said does it have to do with shortages, I thought you were going to do the Rock. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter about shortages. You can take your shortages.
It sounded like you were going to set that. It really did. I felt like you were setting that up.
I mean, it doesn't hurt, but we do see Xbox getting aggressive. We saw it with their E3 presentation, Persona 5, Kojima Games coming on, working on a special unique game there, and just really focusing on Japan, making it a priority. The last time they did that was with Xbox 360, and we know how that went, and it went really well. Is this sustainable? Do we think we'll get to a point ever?
Well, did Xbox 360 do well in Japan?
No, I don't think it
I don't
did.
think it did.
I
think they've been trying.
Sorry, it did the best out of all the Xbox consoles
okay.
to date.
Well, I mean, there was only 2 at that point.
No. To date, which means Xbox One.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
All of
They
them.
sold 20 units, which is more than the 5 of the previous added together.
No, in fact, the last time that Xbox outsold PlayStation 5 on any given week was the 360 in Japan.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Well, what's really interesting, and this is, I mean, I'm not the first one to think this. There's been articles I've read about this, but I wonder. I think a good majority has to do with the Series S. Being a lower price point and being an entry level.
It's small and sexy.
Yeah, I think that.
Well, it was my nickname in high school.
I think that has a lot to do with it because you can get an Xbox at a very entry level price and still have the same, a very similar experience. But anyway, I almost wonder if. So we know that Japan is a very very proud culture, right? Which is really cool. But I wonder if there's been a little. I don't want to use the word backlash, but anyway, Sony moving their gaming headquarters to California, and now
I get what you're
I want to
saying.
be careful with my words because I don't want to say anything, but moving their headquarters to California and kind of making the Japan market a secondary market to their overall goal.
Well, the thing
you know
is,
what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
understand why they've done it, right?
I see what
But-
you're saying. You're basically
know-
saying since they've had, and they still do, the Asian market locked up on lockdown.
And I'm just kind of...
It's not been a concern, and so maybe there's an opportunity for, or not that it's not been a concern, but you tend to take markets that you own for granted sometimes.
Well, and again, being like, I wonder if like, I don't know. It's like when your favorite sports team moves to a different city, you kind of like dislike them for a minute or so. You know what I mean? Like, and
The
just,
feeling of not being loyal.
yeah. And I'm just wondering, because the Japanese culture is very loyal and very proud, right? Do you think that affects like, oh, well, if Sony's leaving us, I'm going to get an Xbox. You know what I mean?
No.
And then going into what you were saying, like, and I don't think it's maybe necessarily that, but Sony used to focus on Japan, and now Japan seems like a secondary market to them, which if you look at the paper, I mean, Japan gave them 3 million consoles. The world gave them 35 million. You know what I mean? And that's just population, right? So, I mean, I see why they moved their headquarters and stuff like that.
Well,
I'm just wondering.
No, I
if that,
I don't think there's a bad taste in Japan consumers' mouth or Japanese consumers' mouth on the PlayStation 5. I think that's very highly unlikely.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely that Xbox is doing things that Japanese consumers
like and enjoy.
or that appeal more to Japanese consumers.
And not to mention, if we were to count, I mean, what's the total? I think PlayStation 5 is still probably ahead.
Oh, no, it's not even close.
But it's just- yeah,
they're
but it's
ahead
just,
a ton.
you
But
know.
on a week to week, it is noteworthy that now this is the second time this has happened in 2 months. So in 2 consecutive months. Then that's a big deal. It is a big deal. You got to start somewhere. PlayStation fans listening to this are like, you guys are stupid. Look, it's not even close. You got to start somewhere.
I mean,
this is a good starting point.
I was going to say, sometimes it's not about playing better. It's sometimes the other team plays better, or sometimes the other team, you know what I mean? So that's
It's not about failing.
It's not
Sometimes the
about
other team is
failing.
just better.
Sometimes if you're starting to, get scored upon, sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes the other team just are making
good.
shots.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and I guess you could always argue as well that everybody in Japan probably already has a PlayStation 5 and Nintendo, so the only thing left to buy is an Xbox
And a Game Pass.
and a Game Pass. Yeah,
And that's why.
that's why we're
Dieter Pinkley's dropped a super chat. He says, Japanese are very loyal and very proud. Thank you for that super chat, Dieter Pinkley.
You know, it's a really cool culture. I'm planning my life to visit there one day.
It would be, you are
Hey,
a
can
weird.
I go with you?
Yeah, I would. I got a bucket list. I watched this guy on YouTube. Shows me around Japan, really cool YouTube channel. But I got a bucket list. I want to go to the Pokemon store.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Pokemon Cafe. It's a real cafe.
Yeah.
I want to go to. I want to.
I'd like
the
to go to
Nintendo
like
Hotel.
Yeah, Nintendo Hotel. Yeah, that
The
one,
original
yeah.
Nintendo factory was turned into a hotel.
Yeah,
I want to go to the place where My Hero Academia was filmed.
I would like to. Yeah, I would like
Oh,
to
that
go.
college route.
Wait, is that an actual place?
Oh, it's probably,
I
based,
was like,
it's probably
whoa.
based on a city.
I was
right?
like, wait a minute. Did
No
they
way,
like
David.
use actual?
David,
think-
that's a cartoon.
No, I know
want
it's
you
a
to know that.
cartoon, but I was like, did they just use an actual place?
No, it's a cartoon. No.
I want to go
I would
to
like to
where
go to
Attack on
Ninte-
Titan was filmed.
Yeah.
The Attack on Titan
It's an
cities.
island. So, I'd like to go to like Nintendo Land, and I mean, basically, a lot of my favorite things in the world are on the island of Japan.
I watch a lot of like cooking on the streets of Japan YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
Street
I
food.
Street food. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes the guy like films the same thing for 40 minutes, but I'll still watch from start to finish.
Oh yeah, the guy
Like
we watched. I
beating
think
eggs.
I think I showed you, Jordan, that guy that you watched. That he goes to like Japanese offices. And
Oh yeah, he does like a day in the
It's-
life of.
It's like
really
an
cool.
entirely different culture.
Yeah, really, it's
would
really
be,
cool.
Like, there's a reason. There's basically no Westerners at any company there because it's way different, and it's a cool. I like it. I like it
It's a cool
lot.
culture. Yeah. Anyway, it'd just be nice to be on a giant island that has the same views as I do when it comes to like anime and Pokemon, and like it's
Yes.
celebrated.
It is celebrated.
You know?
it is
Where
celebrated.
you're not shunned.
Yeah.
Beast says it's an anime, not a cartoon.
Hey, I'm gonna counter that. That's sort of true, but see, cartoons have animations, and you know what anime, is from? It's Japanese animation. So they're technically we're both kind of right there. You're probably more right, but but come on, okay, it was a joke.
I still see you down in that hole. You're not-
I went down a couple of notches, and Beast's mind, and I don't like that. I want to stay on
I
top.
think I also think I saw they have a Naruto theme park as well.
Do they?
Do they really?
That's
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
Does everybody run around like
Yeah,
this?
I'm telling you, man, it's celebrated there.
Remember when the people were protesting or they were going to rush Area 51? And
Yeah,
the news
and
crew
the
was out there.
Naruto guy ran by.
And the guy ran in the Naruto style
Naruto,
behind the
yeah.
news anchor. Hilarious.
I wonder if he got in.
He might have
Naruto
been
style.
let in. He might have been let in. Hey,
I've been learning
You know
a lot
what
about. Oh, sorry.
So I was gonna say, you know what I'd think be like the funniest joke? Like if I ever get elected president, this is what I'm gonna do.
go.
Okay.
I'm gonna have nothing there at Area 51. It's just a fence and soldiers surrounding literally nothing.
Protecting nothing.
Yeah. Just so everybody's like, it's one of those things where they're freaking out, but
Or
there's
protecting
there's
your
literally nothing there.
protecting a personal collection of yours, like your Halo,
Like Jay Leno's
collection.
garage.
Yeah, like Jay Leno's garage.
Yeah, something like that. And they're
Yes.
like, this was it?
That would be awesome. What you said you were going to say, Spicy?
No, it was
What you've been going down a rabbit hole or something?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. But I learned like a little bit about Area 51, and I've been going down like a. I've been learning a lot about planes.
Oh,
you know,
okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
We have
yeah,
an
yeah,
air
yeah.
show tomorrow.
there's an air show tomorrow.
There is an air
Are you
show
going
tomorrow.
to it?
Kind of.
Oh, you're just going to stand outside and watch
Yeah,
the planes
yeah,
in
yeah.
your backyard?
Anyways,
Kinda,
and
yeah.
Area 51 was like a test zone for a lot of planes and stuff. And I learned a lot about I don't know why, just started learning a lot about plane. I think because how YouTube has the recommended, and I probably said planes to somebody one time, and now I have all these documentaries on planes. There's some cool stuff out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like people probably don't care about this, but the F-117, which I actually really like because Spartan 117, you know?
Oh, I see.
So that's the Nighthawk, right? They called it an F-117 because F stands for fighter, but it's not a fighter plane.
It's a bomber, right?
Yes, but they called it an F-117 to get cool pilots, like, to get the good pilots.
They're like, we just need to
'cause
market
fighter
this bad
jets
boy.
are what's up.
So what you're saying is fighter jets are all about marketing.
So yeah, so they
planes are all
they
about
tweaked it, and I learned also about the SR-71, which is from. I'm going to tie this to Call of Duty, everybody, because I used to play. I know a lot about planes and guns and stuff from Call of Duty, but you'd always call in the SR-71. I learned that was actually called the RS-71. Speaking of marketing, but President Johnson misspoke it the first time the government revealed the plane, and they kept it.
They're looking at the sheets,
They
they
didn't
were
want
like,
him to look stupid, and it sounded better. The SR-71 versus the RS-71. Yeah, everybody
you
should
did
go learn about planes. Planes are
That
cool.
is- now the Nighthawk that you're talking about, that's that long black one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
the
it was
bomber.
It's like the stealth bomber, but long.
it's like a triangle jagged. It was the
Yeah,
first
it's
true stealth plane.
Oh, so it is the stealth bomber.
It's not
Yeah.
it's not the stealth bomber. It's like what the stealth bomber was made from. It's like
Yeah.
It's like super jagged triangles.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about like the super curved one.
The one that looks like
Yeah.
That's its
shit.
baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
No, yeah. And the SR-71 was like a stealth plane as well, but it was like a 90% stealth, whereas the F-117 was like real. Anyways, I've been talking about my wife about all this stuff because,
And
she doesn't care.
she's like, oh,
I have
that's-
no one. You guys are my
That's nice.
soundboard.
That's cool.
guys
I think every boy growing up loves like I wanted to be a fighter. Actually, that's why I love Top Gun so much because that movie made me want to be a fighter.
You know
pilot.
what's funny? I was reading our local news stuff because we have like a air show tomorrow at the military base that's close by.
And they
they're-
expect it to be super huge
they're
because of Top Gun.
Yeah, they're expecting north of 500,000 people, if not more. And everybody was joking around. They're like, "Do you think it's because of Top Gun Maverick?"
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Oh
That's
yeah,
probably-
definitely,
yeah.
yeah."
You know
everybody
what?
wants to
That's
go
probably
see
why
Jet, yeah.
started getting all those recommended. So the chat's talking about the AC-130, which, by the way, that was my first introduction to that plane was Modern Warfare 2, because that was one of the coolest
Missions, yeah.
You could just beat the crap out of it. I learned I know a lot about planes now.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
goodness YouTube exists. So it's the C-130. It's a cargo plane. C stands for cargo. But if you put like the modifier in front of it is its like adaptable thing, which
I thought it was an attack cargo.
so they put guns on a cargo 130
while bringing packages.
Yeah, and it's a huge plane. But like, yeah, so SR-71 is submarine reconnaissance.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so yeah. Anyways,
Random facts from
yeah,
McSpicy.
I like getting into planes.
What you should do now is download the Maverick DLC for Flight Simulator
I should
and try
totally
and
do
land on an aircraft carrier. Do you know how hard it is to land on an
You
aircraft
could do it.
carrier?
Hey, did you do it successfully, Jordan?
No, it's hard. I can't get it. It's hard.
Oh.
It's really hard.
Yeah, that sucks. Let's talk a little
Well,
bit.
hold on. I I want to keep going a little bit. No, I know a lot about Lockheed now and the skunk. There's like a skunk group and stuff. Anyways, I should shut up. But I really want to. After the show, guys, I'll talk to you about planes.
I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited.
It's super cool. Yeah, planes are cool.
Let's get into Halo Master Chief Collection here real quick.
Ah, yeah.
Because it was suggested they are tossing around the idea of microtransactions in the Master Chief Collection. Jordan.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? So we review actually what they're planning on doing.
Yeah, basically
first.
what they're doing is they've come out with a comment.
Let's pull up some Halo footage while
they're
we-
very
You got it.
they're very like careful about how they're like, okay, this isn't a thing. We're just trying it. They say they like the current system of they're going to call it Spartan points now, but basically you earn points in the season and then you take those points and you spend them on the season pass. So basically what they're doing is they're basically making it so if you want to, and I just found it funny the way they worded it. That like the way they worded it is they talk about like if you don't want to do the grind or anything like that, but it's basically like if you don't want to play the game, then you can just buy it all. You know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but now, I mean, does it necessarily bother me? Do I think it'll break the game? No. The reason I think they're doing it is because Master Chief Collection is pretty popular, and I think they see an opportunity to make money.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's pretty much what it comes down to. Will it ruin the game? Probably not.
At least you hope not.
Well, yeah, unless they start adding like, you know, pay to win elements. I mean,
I don't
they
think they
probably
will.
saw that Diablo Immortal made 24 million in like 2 weeks, so they're like,
Well,
"Oh, whoa, why don't we throw this into our game?"
That's a short-term investment.
Well, 24 million is a pretty decent investment.
Yeah, but if you look at it long term, look at a game like Fortnite, which does it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would say
yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
You're talking several billions a year.
I'm not. I'm not really. Like I said, I don't think it'll ruin the game. Am I against it? Probably not. I mean, they seem like they're kind of. When you read their statement about it, they seem like they're trying to do it carefully as to not upset anybody, and their wording is very particular.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's basically. It comes down to it like what they said. If you don't want to go through the grind of the season pass, we are exploring an option to let you just buy it all.
Very cool.
So
I mean, Master Chief Collection continues to evolve. It's been really solid.
yeah, no, it's a good hub of games.
So I kind of was thinking about planes while you were talking. Sorry. What's the deal with microtransactions? Can you just TLDR it for me?
They're thinking about adding microtransaction to Master Chief
Oh,
Collection.
you really weren't paying attention.
I know.
in the,
Planes are cool. Okay.
in the season pass. So like if you don't want to go through and earn the season pass, you can buy all the levels.
Well,
for
you
it.
can do that with every other season pass out there.
No, yeah, which is why I'm not against it, and I don't necessarily think it's going to ruin the game.
Yeah, because
But it's just kind of, to me, it's just kind of, it's they're exploring options to do it, and we'll see how it goes.
I got you.
It's not necessarily bad. I don't think it's going to ruin the game. It is. I mean, they have been supporting Master Chief Collection a lot, so I don't mind supporting that game.
So here's the deal. Like, I think the current season of Fortnite right now, is it still Doctor Strange, or was that like
No, it's Darth Vader's the big one.
So okay, yes. So Darth Vader's at the top of the chain, right?
Yeah,
I am considering not playing Fortnite
and just buying,
but spending $100,
yeah, just to get it,
just to get that.
and that's actually what
So that
Halo
you
was
always
talking
have
about.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so this is exactly what Halo would do. It has nothing to do with like a pay to win. It's just
no, it's just
It's a
cosmetic.
cosmetic
Yeah, no, it's
that
just
you really
cosmetic,
want, and you
that's
can
why.
earn it or you can buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not against it at all. I
And
don't
I'm
think
kind
it'll
of glad. I'll be honest. This is one of those cases where I'm kind of glad that I don't have to play to get 100, but
You're
I can still
limited
get
in
Darth
time.
Vader. You know?
There's only so many games you can play in a day.
Correct.
No.
Well, there you go. Halo Master Chief, microtransactions. We'll see how it'll play out. Maybe we'll help them get Halo Infinite.
Yeah, chat's
down.
talking about this too, but like it would only ruin the game if it was pay to win.
Yeah, Sergeant Reaper absolutely is saying that.
Some people would argue it takes away like the earning of the cosmetic, but I don't. You know, anyway. If it's not, if it's
two
just
levels
like
here.
any other battle pass, then it's
There's two levels here. You could say, "Oh my gosh, what a badass! He has Darth Vader. He must have played a lot." Or, "Oh my gosh, what an idiot! How awesome he is! He spent $100 getting that." You know, like there's like both of them are in awe moments for me.
Yeah.
He wasted a lot of money getting that Darth Vader.
No, but it'll see how
Or he wasted a lot of time getting that Darth Vader.
It'll be interesting to see how they implement it, if they only implement it to the battle pass or if they do other things. I think I mean, I don't think there's been a huge backlash against it. I think it's just one of those things where it's like, okay,
It's just
well,
noteworthy.
are you going to put, if we start here, like once you open the door, what else is coming through? Like, is it going to be one of those things where it's going to be like, okay, well, in Halo Infinite, a lot of the cool skins are in the store, so you have to buy them. There's virtually no earnable skins other than what's on the battle pass and the basically red paint that you get in the campaign, which I'm not going to lie, doesn't count. It's literally just red paint. Like, there's no effort put into that at all.
I can see that.
Yeah, I could do that.
So my Halo Master Chief transactions coming. We'll see how it'll play. It'll be interesting to see how it comes down and if they do a good job with it. And it sounds like they're thinking about it correctly, at least.
I think they just are trying not to rock the boat because Diablo Immortal's kind of hot news right now. So it's like
Hot news, and not in a good way.
Yeah,
not in a good hot. In a
$24 million. That's
in a my pee is burning. I might have an STD kind of hot way.
What?
The thing is like,
okay. All right.
You don't like that reference?
I don't know.
That was pretty apt.
Yeah, I guess.
The aptitude was there on that one.
Imagine being at that level where you can drop 6 figures on a game and be like, yeah.
Oh,
I'm all right.
150,000 to beat
Diablo,
to
you mean?
win.
Yeah,
talking
like
about
pay to win. Like, Diablo Immortal. Like, imagine being at that level, I guess, in life.
One day. One day.
Yeah.
But then is gaming...
I'm running out of days, David.
But,
Hopefully it happens soon.
but then is gaming fun anymore?
Well, I mean, I have
is.
Darth Vader.
It is if there's poor people in the world, I guess,
I mean, I now have Darth Vader. Okay. And I'm not going to be playing that game, but I have Darth Vader.
No, well,
fair enough.
Diablo Immortal, though, did they are very pay to win, and there's no land.
Oh,
they went the extra mile.
They tried to be unethical.
Yeah, I know,
they were like, you know what would screw people
tried
over.
really hard.
no, like those meetings were
Guys, let's see the line right there. Let's cross it and see what happens.
I think
they crossed this line.
I think they. You're right. I think they were in a meeting saying, like, guys, how can we really go after these guys? Like,
I think though, if you have that kind of disposable income that you can just toss around, you do lose a little bit incentive to play because you could just buy whatever you want.
I don't know. Like, there was a guy or
let's hear
a
it, Jordan.
lady.
Is this a legend?
There was
the legend of the internet.
There was a dude.
There was
one guy.
There was some guy in the meeting that was like, all right, if we're just going free with this thing, what if we tell them it's not pay to win? You cannot purchase gear. But hold on. We make the gear worthless unless you have a gem that you have to purchase. And then we can, in our marketing, tell them you can't purchase gear for power. That's silly. Why would we ever do that?
And then the other guy raises his hand and says, what if we kind of make those similar to this one over here, and
So
you can't
we trick them.
sell this one. You have to buy this one to sell it with real money.
Yeah, and then another guy chimes in and says, yes, I like that because not everyone is going to fall for that trick, but those that do, we got them.
yeah.
And that's how you make 24 million in 2 weeks and zero the next.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because you both had a chance to play, and we did get a question from Poke Fraud this week about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But why don't you guys talk about your experience with it? What do you think? Does it live up to your past experiences? What's it like? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
This is probably, in recent memory, my second ever actually playing hardcore, like a beat 'em up game, I guess you would call it.
Sure.
I played Streets of Rage, and I went through and beat that game, and now I'm playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, I think it's what it's called. It's super fun. I actually think I like this better than Streets of Rage. It's really fun. I like it a lot. It's a fun game. It's another reason why Game Pass is an incredible value, because you get games like this that I wouldn't have thought I'm going to go out and buy this game for, even though it's probably a $15, $20 game. I wouldn't have thought I'm going to go buy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for $15, $20 and play through it, right? I would have never done that or played this game without Game Pass. And same with Streets of Rage. So another reason why I think Game Pass is an incredible value to at least me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, did you play this co-op? How many players did you play with on your team? Or
we had
single?
5 at one point.
Yeah, I
One,
think so.
two,
Yeah.
three,
Or four.
Four. We had 4 at one point. Yeah, we had 3 turtles and
April.
Yeah.
3 turtles.
And April is pretty overpowered.
Oh yeah. Oh, April's where it's at. If you want to play, you might as well win the game.
Yeah.
They made her very strong.
Yeah.
But overall, you like it then?
Yeah, it's really good.
Spicy. Now, you are someone like myself who grew up playing these games.
Yeah.
What does it do for you?
So some of my favorite games of all time is like Turtles in Time. I really, really like the arcade. I remember going to movies as a kid, and you know how the movie theaters used to have like an arcade in there? And I would always play Turtles, and I would always play X-Men. It was almost why I liked going to the movie theater, was so I could
play the arcade.
Dump my $2.50 into these games. So this game takes a lot of inspiration from Turtles in Time and from like the arcade versions of this game. And so much that like it's like you can throw people into the screen. There's a lot of references to, I mean, a lot of the characters and stuff like that reference those games too. I think it's a phenomenal game, and I actually really like Jordan's thoughts on it, because you missed the Konami like Turtles in Time. You never played that game, right? That was before your time. Yeah, so it's interesting to have somebody not have that like nostalgic attachment to a game like this
and enjoy it,
and still enjoy it. Yeah. I think it's great. I'm pretty sure it's just a short, quick little game, but they add a modern take on kind of leveling up.
And I really like that.
Characters.
You can level up each individual character by completing different challenges, getting collectibles, and as you level up, it's a linear level up system, so you don't choose anything, but as you level up, you unlock different combo abilities that you can then use that are more powerful. It's really good. Like it gives you that depth while keeping that nostalgia, I guess, right?
Have you tried playing this with Daniel yet? Do you think he would enjoy this?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so because I can see if my kid was of age, which he's too young to play games at this point, but I can totally see father-son, father-daughter just enjoying maybe.
Oh, bro, look at Splinter.
Yeah, Splinter's. I haven't tried Splinter. I figure he'd be OP because he's the master.
Another thing that I think needs to be shouted out, because it seems like fewer and fewer games are doing this, is a 100% true, real co-op experience. If me and Mark and David all play together, I play Leo, David plays Donatello, and Mark plays.
I'm Donnie, by the way.
Mikey or what? I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, I'll be Splinter.
Okay,
that's cool.
You come into my game. I invite you. We all play through the campaign together. When we all leave for the night, your progress on Splinter is forever there because
Beautiful.
you played him. And even on the campaign, like you've unlocked all the levels technically in my game. Because you've done it. Like it's a true co-op experience.
Oh, so I can enter my gamer tag on my controller and log in?
No, so what he's saying is like
when you go back to quote unquote your game, your world.
Sorry, so we're on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
You're talking Xbox Live. Okay.
Yeah.
You can do
which is
screen,
it's a shame that this is even brought up, because I mean, what are we, cavemen? How long have we been able?
Yeah. What are we, monsters?
What are we, monsters? How am I? Why to this day am I still being punished to decide to play with Jordan, for example, in another game, and then have to replay those same games or those same levels back when I start playing by myself? Case in point, I think it's a great game. Where it lacked was the true co-op experience, is the Ascent.
Yes.
That was super frustrating to have to play this great game in Jordan's game, on his essential console while I'm, via the internet at my house. And then when I start to play my game, I have to replay those same missions over again.
And you can
super frustrating.
You can say like, oh, well, why don't you guys just create a multiplayer save? Which in Ascent we kind of did, but still, like if you want to play by yourself, you're still creating another character.
And you're replaying the same missions, and you're like,
But I mean, it's not so much even replaying the same missions. It's the fact that I would like to progress this character, but if I were to go into Mark's or go ahead too far, Far Cry is another example of I wish they did co-op differently. It's really fun to play co-op in Far Cry, but you can't share the main missions. And they say something like, they came out and said, well, we don't want to
ruin the experience.
It's like, well,
the experiences with my friends.
Yeah, I know I'm playing with this guy. I know what kind of experience I'm going to get in. Or I wouldn't play with that person. It's not like they're forcing you. I'm an advocate of players being able to choose what they want to do with their games.
Amen, brother. Thank you for advocating that.
And it comes
Please
down
continue.
to we got to get a T-shirt that says "Let the people play."
Let the people play.
Let the people play how they want to play.
What was so funny is when the Ascent came out, and we were super frustrated with that. Diablo 2 reconfigured. What was that one?
Resurrected.
That was it.
Yeah.
Diablo 2 Resurrected came out, and then I'm like, wait, we had true co-op 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Why have we gone backwards in time?
Why are we regressing here?
Yeah.
And I mean it's you can and then there's the oh well, what if your friend out levels you and then he just runs you through all the stuff. That happened with me, David, and Non-Prophetic. It was great.
It was fantastic.
It was
I didn't mind
Diablo
that
3,
at all.
yeah. Mark kind of didn't like it, but that was good for us.
Yeah, but in a game like this,
funny.
you can't do that in a game like this.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I mean, again, it just comes down to, I don't know, let the people play the way they want to play,
Hey, man, I do want to shout out chat here. There was some question. What is this game? Because we have it playing up in the screen for those listening. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It is on Game Pass right now. So if you have Game Pass and this looks good to you, go download it. Check it out. Play with your friends.
They add secrets that you can unlock, so they add replayability. Has anyone ever played Super Mario World where you can go one direction?
Yeah.
And then you find the secret on the level, and then it lets you go another direction on the overall map.
You have a choice. Do I waste the key on this door or that door?
So yeah, exactly. This game kind of does the same thing where if you unlock secrets, it kind of unlocks another direction, which are characters and stuff. So
it's really fun because we've been playing with Barbara Blake. It's really fun playing with you guys and Blake because I don't know anything about the Turtles other than they came out in the 90s and then Michael Bay brought them out again in the early, in the late 2000s. But so, but you guys
the new Turtles
naming
suck.
all the characters have listening to your guys' nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
we're like, that's Bebop. We're fighting Bebop.
Yeah. It's fun to listen to. It's contagious.
I grew up on these Saturday morning cartoon Turtles. Actually, I think they were every day before school. I would watch these.
Yes,
they weren't Saturday morning.
They were early morning.
Yeah,
they were
like 7:30 before school started.
That's our childhood. Yeah, watching these. And I was actually talking to Jordan about this. The Turtles kind of did it backwards, and what I mean by that, compared to say like Batman. Okay. So Batman was zany, and he was, originally with Adam West, it was like kapow, kazang, kapouchi. Yeah, and they had their crawling up the wall or the building, and they'd have their celebrities hop on the show. So Batman was kind of like a joke or just zany in kind of a way. But then you have the artwork of
Frank Miller.
And
made him the Dark Knight.
Yeah, and made him serious and made him dark.
Then Tim Burton was like, "Oh man, I got to make a movie about this guy."
Hold on, Edward Scissorhands. Wait your turn.
Wait your turn, Edward. Mr. Scissorhands.
Mr. Scissorhands. I got Batman. So the Turtles were kind of reversed. If I never read the graphic novels, which I've been told to get into them, but they were very gritty and they were very dark and bloody and like that. And then our cartoon, our Saturday morning, or not Saturday morning, but our morning cartoons turned the Turtles into these likable, just cute
Turtles,
pizza loving, cowabunga,
fun, funny.
Yeah, which I still actually
Action
like, by
heroes.
the way. But I found that interesting.
Well, what I don't like is the Michael Bay newest ones. I was very excited to watch it, and then you watch it, and it's like, this is not Turtles. This is Transformers.
Yeah.
Shredder is a Transformer, and in the OG movies, Shredder was awesome. Like, you were afraid of Shredder because he was the Karate King.
He was.
He was a master, and he put on that helmet and his braces, his metal braces, and he would kill people with his
that guy? I don't know, but he sure doesn't need a can opener. I love that movie.
And their mouths were off.
Jose Canseco Bat, tell me you didn't pay money for this. The Turtles is a great movie.
So go check it out. Polka Fraud's question in chat, or that he submitted for the show rather, said having a blast. He's having a blast with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder Revenge.
great game.
He says, so nostalgic. It hits all the marks for me. My question for you all, who is your favorite Ninja Turtle? Mine has always been Michelangelo, but I identify more with Donatello.
So here's the deal. Is it movie Turtles or is it game Turtles? Because if it's game Turtles, because I played Turtles on the NES, it's Donatello. He was the most important character in the game because of his range with his bow staff. 100%.
Donatello was mine as well. And same, the staff. I always wanted the staff.
I don't know a ton about the Turtles because I still need to research, but I've been playing as Leo.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Leo's the leader.
I like the blue. I like the dual
samurai swords.
I've been getting all the you suck awards at the end of every level.
That's actually really funny. Every award is you killed the least amount of people. Good job.
Good job, Leo. And you're like, what?
That is actually interesting because I bet you, I bet you Donatello, if you played the original games, Donatello might be your favorite. Because he was the best one.
And Mikey sucks.
I remember his staff
But see, now April.
you had that superpower where the staff would extend when you hit people with it.
Yeah. No, yeah. So, but if it's movie, I would say probably Michelangelo, because he's just the happy guy. He's like, fellow Chucka, eh?
Yeah, movie, I'd go Raphael because he was angry.
Yeah, Raphael, he kept it real. He really did.
Is he the red turtle?
He's the red turtle, yeah.
Right there with the nunchucks.
He would get into it with Casey Jones quite a bit.
No, with the
those aren't
short
nunchucks?
swords.
Those are size.
Size.
Yeah.
Sorry, nunchucks are the things.
That was
nunchakus.
Yeah,
I believe
who was the nunchucks?
Michelangelo,
and then Donatello's the staff.
Then
Leo's
the swords.
Splinter's the rat.
And Leo was trained.
And who's the other guy? Wasn't there another guy?
So Donnie, Michelangelo, Leo, and Raphael.
And then there was Splinter, April, and then wasn't there another
Casey
guy?
Jones.
Casey Jones, okay.
Yeah, Casey Jones is the...
And you're hoping to see if he's like an unlock in this game.
I hope Casey Jones is in this game. That would be super cool. He'd be perfect. He'd pull out his golf clubs and hit everybody.
There you go. Great question, Poker Fraud. Thank you very much for writing in. If you'd like to submit a question, you can do so every single week over on YouTube. Also, I want to shout out Sergeant Reaper, who just re-subbed or re-became a member here, a wingman status, and he's got that loyalty badge on the channel. If you're listening and you would like to support us, you have fun, you enjoy what we do, please come support us over on YouTube. Just go to the website, hit join or become a member, and you can click a level there for $5 a month. You can support us, get a loyalty badge, and it goes a long way. We appreciate all our supporters. Next question comes from Shorzy. And he says, you all should discuss the Evil West gameplay that was released the other day. That game looks great, and it's like a modern, more evil Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, but with demons and gore. Shorzy, absolutely. We've got it ready to pull up here because it looks cool.
It's from the same people that did Shadow Warrior. So if you've ever seen Shadow Warrior, which is really awesome to watch, it's Shadow Warriors with with Vampire Hunter D, basically.
And Trek to Yomi.
They made Trek to Yomi as well, but this definitely isn't Trek to Yomi.
No, it's not. It's not.
No, but yeah, Evil West. It's Shadow Warriors with a cowboy vampire hunter.
It looks phenomenal, actually.
It makes me want to play Shadow Warriors while I wait for this game to come out.
And Shadow Warriors.
Yeah, like Jordan said, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal
with
Kombat
cowboys.
Fight. Yeah, cowboy. Yeah,
that's what this game is. Third person perspective.
Who's the Mortal Kombat character that had the bladed hat? It wasn't Reno. Not Reno.
No.
Kano.
It was
Kano.
No, it wasn't Kano.
Oh my gosh! Don't get old, everybody.
It was Liu Kang's cousin or friend or something like that.
Yeah,
and he had the hat.
And he would throw the hat and it would just sit there.
I can see him in my head. I know where he's at on the character panel in the game, but
the hat. Anyways, the character reminds me of him. Whatever that nameless Mortal Kombat character.
So it's cowboys with zombies. You're a vampire hunter, but you're shooting people with your guns like a cowboy would, but then you can get close to them and beat them up with crazy punch combos.
Yeah.
Like right there. And like a power punch.
That's the Shadow Warrior.
And then you can shoot them in the air after you've punched them in the air.
It's very gory. It looks the combat looks chunky. Like it looks like there's weight behind it. Like when you punch it looks like you feel like you're punching. That guy just lost his arms.
Yeah.
I didn't know that we're watching gameplay. That guy, wow, a good shot.
Speaking of Kung Lao, we confirm that's the dude with the hat. Remember the latest HBO Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah,
I
and
still
you're
never
like,
saw
That
it,
was
by the way.
freaking
And
awesome.
you're
Like the first 15 minutes,
and
you're like,
whoa.
whoa, yes, the Mortal Kombat movie I need. Serious, gritty, all right.
Yeah, and then
There's a scene of Kung Lao in one of the first fights, and he like spins his head on the ground, and the guy goes, "Roar," and it chops him in half, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be one of these.
Well, it was
and it
just-
becomes a silly fest.
it was one of those things
It was
where it's
Iron
like,
Man 3.
It was one of those things where it started out really cool, and you're like, wow, this is going to be a really
is gonna
interesting,
be
this is
awesome.
going to be cool. Like, they're going, I like the more, and then they just like, it's one of
owned-
those things where it's like, okay, well, I wouldn't have made that
They
decision.
pulled the rug
And
on
you're
us.
like, well, okay, I wouldn't have made that decision.
Yeah.
And that decision
It was a
definitely
rug
led to
pull.
the decision that I wouldn't have made. Like, it just,
So I think if they would have owned Pacific Rim cheesy awesomeness, it would have been fine.
like the originals.
Yes, but what they did is they started out super, super gritty, super dramatic.
bait
The
and
opening,
switch?
Well, and like-
scene, and you're like, whoa,
They
this is going to be cool.
Well, and it wasn't even like, it
And
was
then
just
they
like,
go in, and it becomes a silly
well,
fest.
and then they like didn't even do like it was kind of Mortal Kombat because it was like, oh, we need to defeat Earthrealm so many times and then we own the universe type things. But then it was like they were breaking the rules and that's a no, and it was. Then they fought in this temple on the side of a mountain that they didn't actually have a Mortal Kombat.
No, they
It
didn't.
The
was like-
tournament wasn't a thing.
No, it was like
Really?
Yeah, the
That's
bad
like the whole basis of
the bad guys like cheated
Yeah.
and just
It was
were
about
like,
them trying to take over the realm,
Well,
basically.
Well, that's
Well,
what
that's
the
what Mortal
tournament's in
Kombat.
place
Yeah,
for.
but
No, but through a shortcut, like without
Yeah.
the tournament.
But they said, what if we just, kill the ref and just go in?
What if we just kill everyone instead?
Yeah, and then
So they did mention the tournament, though.
well, they did, and then they were like, who needs it?
No,
Let's
but
just go.
I don't even mind
Well, it
that.
was-
I don't even mind that.
But it was-
What I
it was-
minded is you start out with one tone, and 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, you just completely change directions.
Well, they did this thing like you said, it was this really cool setup with Sub-Zero and
Yes.
Scorpion, and it was like, okay, that's like the
Whoa.
that's like the okay, we know why they hate each other. This is great, and the conclusion of that sucked real sack. Like it was bad. Like it was a terrible. You got to admit, it was a terrible conclusion. Like
I was like, what?
yeah,
Or they go to train, they go to start training, and even that part, you're like, what?
yeah, it was like
that's too bad because their dynamic is really interesting.
Well, you should just watch the first 15 minutes, Spicy, then fast forward 30 minutes, and you'll see what we're talking
and you're like,
about.
that's an interesting decision. But it was like they set up this really cool story between, especially Scorpion. Like you almost felt it was just cool, and then they ruined it.
Yeah. But we still have the gameplay up here of Evil West.
Yeah,
Sorry.
'cause we-
This
yeah, we
looks
got
good.
this
This
derailed.
does look good. It looks like fun. So this is co-op. You're going to be able to play with your friend.
True co-op? Question mark?
I don't know. Only one other player co-op because there's two of you.
Yes, but I mean,
I don't know. That's yet to be determined.
We'll find out September 20th. Right?
September 20th, this drops. I think we're going to be jumping in on this.
Either way, I mean,
it looks like a good
if,
time.
Even if it's not true co-op, I think this will be a good, fun single player game.
this looks like a good
Shadow
time.
Warrior with cowboys
yeah, it
and
looks
vampire
very, very
hunters.
good. The game is called Evil West.
Evil West. Yeah, Shorzy, thank you very much for the question. Appreciate it. Psychotic has dropped us a question and asks, what's up, my bro Heems? Do you think that games should release like how Fortnite and Grounded did, where they're in game preview mode and slowly add updates till the final release, or just give us the whole meal at once? Thanks for all you do and stay safe. I think it depends. I think some people do game preview correctly and some people don't. And it's not that I think we've gotten away from game preview is terrible and sucks and takes advantage. I think most developers do it right from a monetary standpoint. Usually it's free or it's super, super cheap, like a discounted price for game preview. But I think it depends. If the game never comes to fruition and always sucks and is always just this half-baked idea, then no.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, obviously. But
don't know.
if they do it like Fortnite, and if you remember Fortnite, it wasn't so much that Fortnite was in game preview. I think Fortnite was developing one style of game that was really good. And then just said, hey, let's
Yeah, the
try this.
save
Let's
the
just
world
drop
mode.
this as an afterthought. And it became the biggest game in the world.
Very quickly. Yeah.
And that's a once in a lifetime, once in a generation type of event that would
True,
happen.
but I don't. Fortnite was in beta for so long, and it shouldn't have been.
Technically, because
the
the
thing.
main game
It should not have been.
Well,
it was too polished to be
even when it
beta.
dropped, that original mode was very polished.
Well, and I don't know. Someone should tell me this. Can you actually still play Save the World mode? Like, is it
No,
still
I think
available?
it's gone. I think it's totally gone.
It was a cool concept.
The reason I think it's gone is because when I logged in to see if I could snag Doctor Strange as soon as possible, and I couldn't without spending lots of money.
Yeah.
Because the season was ending. I got all these notifications that said, "Thank you for playing Save the World. Sorry, we discontinued it. Here, have some stuff." Because I had invested
time
and energy, and I think I had purchased something from that or something. I don't know, or I unlocked something that was purchasable anyways. So they gave me stuff. I don't even know what I got because everything's different in that.
I think
game now,
I think it really
since when I
depends. Like for example, let's take a game like Escape from Tarkov. I don't mind giving money to that game. It's still in early access. To be honest, I'm expecting it to never not be in early access. But I think there's a place for that. The developers are doing good. They continuously update the game. They make changes. They're doing, I think, what a good pre-release game should do, right? But there's other times where I just want to I don't know. I just want to spend $50, $60 and just play through all of God of War. You know what I mean? I think there's a time and a place for each of those types.
There
of
is.
games.
Can I add to this, David?
Add.
So some games should not be considered preview because I think they should be considered released because of how much time and effort and how polished the games are. Mm-hmm. I am going to go I think I get your viewpoint. I understand it. But at the same time, I hate preview games.
Well,
Was it Valheim a preview game?
I will admit a lot of preview games use that title as a crutch or an excuse to not drop content. Yeah.
There's several reasons. The main reason I don't like preview games is because I feel like I'm giving money. I feel like it's a Kickstarter kind of, where I'm giving them money and who knows if they'll finish it.
Yeah.
And I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
Also, and that's the majority of the feeling. Some of the other feelings I have are I kind of don't get the full value of the game because I have played a lot of it and then I'm considered it checked off my list. Like Valheim is a good example.
Yeah.
Or even Grounded.
But how many hours did you put into Valheim?
A lot.
I put a lot, but at the same time, there was no ending. It just fizzled. It fizzled because you got the game to a point where you just go, oh, that's the end of development. You know? What was that game? It was in the style of Clockwork Orange. It was like
We Happy Few.
We Happy Few. Here's an example of a game that I thought, it was a preview game when I played it. I thought it was great. However, it was the skeleton or bones of a game without the meat on it. I have not yet. This is just me, so this is my opinion, right? So I'm sure other people, think of this differently, but I have not gone back to that game, even though it's probably an excellent game. But because I
have considered it checked off,
it's lost its oomph,
Magic,
and its magic
curiosity.
in a way. I now, I have it on my backlog to go play, but let's be real, the backlog just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. And so because it was a preview game, I never got to experience a full release game that probably was a great game.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing. I have had experiences with preview games that I just have been like that. There's several examples of preview games where they have been broken.
Yeah.
And so I just check it off the list and shelf it again because who knows for what. I really, really, in my opinion, to this question, would like games fully released and let me enjoy it and let me check it off the list and say that I went from start to finish and enjoyed the whole experience.
Yeah. No,
And
there you
this is
go.
because of how I am. So.
There you go. Great question, Psychotic. So I think that's probably pretty emblematic of the community. Some people are going to like it. Some people aren't going to like it. I think we're not going to see game preview go anywhere, although it does seem to have been toned down. Remember, there was a time where it was like game preview. I was like, what is everyone doing?
Yeah. Oh, and see, like even Grounded. I think that was a decent game, but you got to a point.
Yeah, the full release is here, and I'm not going back to play it either.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, you got to a point where it just fizzled because you're playing a story campaign.
You can never get past the robot.
Correct.
Yeah.
And now, are we going back to that?
No.
No, there's not time.
Yeah.
The hype is gone.
It's too much competing for my attention.
So I would prefer to enjoy the game to its fullest, and that's a full release for me. And I don't want it broken.
Good point. Let's take one more question here. We're going to take this from Andrew Courtney because both him and Pokefraud actually wrote in something similar. And we already answered Pokefraud's question. So let's take Andrew Courtney. Andrew Courtney writes in and said, would you guys like to see Microsoft go to a quarterly show cadence for giving us info instead of one big show every June?
Quarterly?
Did you say quarterly, yes. Okay. Or at least add another show or two for more consistent info. I think 2 a year. I think 2.
Don't they kind of do that, though? Because they do the June one, and then they do Gamescom towards the end of the year.
They kind of do, but definitely the focus is on the first half of the year.
So
I would like to see 2, but I understand why they don't. I don't know. I think there's probably give and takes. You have your big announcements, which sets you up, and if this year's presentation is indicative of where they're going in the future, it looks like we're only going to see games with 1 year out now.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, I understand why they're doing 1 a year, and then you've got to think, then they have news to trickle out as games drop throughout that next year, leading up to the next big presentation, and it probably is it's probably a nice schedule for them at this point. So I understand why they don't. I agree. I would like to see more, but you got to think what goes into that. As someone who has put on a conference recently, there is a ton of work that goes into what we see an hour. That's months and months of preparation just for that show.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think Nintendo Direct does it the best. When they have a lot of stuff like their June stuff, it's a Nintendo Direct and they cover a wide variety of stuff. When they're getting closer to a game launch, like let's say Pokemon or Zelda or something, they'll do like a Pokemon Direct, a Zelda Direct it'll just be maybe 30, 40 minutes, but it'll specifically talk about that kind of stuff. I just think
But we've kind of gotten those in fairness.
No, yeah,
before
they
Forza dropped, Forza Horizon 5, we got different videos and different information that came out about them, interview with the developers, stuff like that. So it's just not being tagged as something official. So we kind of do get that.
Yeah, no, we do. I think Nintendo probably just everybody gets excited. They call it the Direct. Like, hey, we have a Pokemon Direct or a Nintendo Direct or a Zelda Direct. You know,
I think it's impossible to do more than what we're getting.
Yeah,
I actually think it's just
it's resource heavy, and they're probably calculating in their. Here's how much time and resources and money goes into it versus what we get from it.
In a perfect world for gamers, we would be getting stuff
very frequently,
monthly.
Yeah.
In reality, development cycles of games are so long nowadays. I mean, they were long even before. I think StarCraft took 12 to 14 years. StarCraft 2.
World of Warcraft took 12 years.
I mean, that's Blizzard, and that's Blizzard when they were
hot.
They were hot, right? So I don't know. I don't think it's possible. I think development cycles are too long. Like you said, David, the amount of work that goes into creating something that doesn't fail is very, very hard, and it takes a lot of hours, phone calls, emails.
Getting multiple teams from multiple departments. You got to think you have everything from game developers of the individual games, marketing from individual games, marketing from Xbox that has to be on board. Then you've got community teams that you've got to line up and messaging. Then you've got the presentation itself.
All from different time zones.
All different
times. Well, I guess maybe it's easier with the recording.
I think
it's a lot.
I personally think if you had it more often, we would get games far fewer in between because the hours, the work hours would be going into this rather than you'd be having developers trying to make cinematics and alpha footage or demos. You'd have your A team on that trying to make something that looks good for the next presentation versus having them actually getting into the nitty gritty.
Yeah. So let's summarize then the answer to this question. Do we want to see them more frequently? I think, Spicy, you summarized it correctly. Ideally, we would love that. Don't think it's possible.
I just don't think it's possible.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's great question, though, Andrew. Thank you very much for writing in. And that does us for this week, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We love being here and hanging out with you guys. Love all that. Love talking games. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed our new sound here. We have a new mixer.
Yes.
We have no audio problems today. So
that was crazy.
Beautiful.
Crazy.
If you haven't yet, make sure you go rate, review, and subscribe to us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and also on YouTube. We love you guys. We love Xbox. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Walking away, brings the fire to find another way. I'm walking away from the silence of your pride. I cannot stay. I just wanted to be happy. I didn't want to be so strong. I don't understand why you leave me so alone. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. You love it, you love it, ooh, you love it, ooh, you love it. So hard to find the good old days. I'm walking away from the heart of this world. I'm too afraid to fall in love and feel a heartache. To fall in love and to do it wrong. I won't survive with a broken heart alone. Now, give the love, give the love, do it wrong, do it wrong. Give the love, give the love, do it wrong, do it wrong. Give the love, give the love, do it wrong, do it I'm walking away from so far.